different. I'm actually walking. This is something that I do all the time. Sorry that I'm like 45 minutes late. I had planned, but some things came up, and I had to help my wife. She's pregnant. We got another baby on the way. But we're going to tell a true story. This all takes place with me back in 2008 in a little small town called Woodruff, South Carolina. It's just out of Spartanburg. It's a little quiet town. Population really ain't that big. But my wife at the time, which is now my ex-wife, we just had our little girl, Rebecca, who's my oldest. She turns 15 in August. I had, at the time, I had been working for Pizza Hut, delivering pizzas, because I was waiting on a loan to come in, and I was also doing merchant services, selling merchant services to businesses to provide credit cards and stuff like that. I ended up collecting on a big deal and bought a 95 763 Bobcat, which was my first equipment I ever had. So at that time I had it for a few months, and I had used it for collateral to get a brand new 2008 Caterpillar 420D backhoe. So I started my own construction company, which was called Carolina Landscape and Construction LLC. I had got everything going, stuff was going good. I ended up getting a house. I ended up getting another house also up in Inman, South Carolina. It needed a lot of work and stuff, but I ended up getting it for I think it was just right under 10 grand. Wasn't bad. It was I think it was 531 or something like that, Brock Street in Inman, South Carolina. It was a pretty good little size house. It had a basement. It needed a lot of work done, you know what I mean? But my ex-wife, her name was Marianne. She was from Briceville, Tennessee, way up on top of the mountain here in East Tennessee. But her mom and came up, and they went to Myrtle Beach for the weekend. But after she got back, things just, she started acting funny. She wanted to move back to Tennessee. I didn't want to. I had all this stuff going. Had a brand new, I paid cash money for that thing. It was close to it was at got it from big old Dodge right there in it was just a town. I forget the name of the town now. It was just right outside of Greenville, South Carolina. I forget the name of the town, but I bought it was a brand new black and chrome Dodge Ram 2500 quad cab 4-door 4x4. It was beautiful. 6-speed, had a 7.2 Cummins turbo diesel. I love that truck. Oh my God, I love that truck. And so after all that stuff going, we went in for the weekend. She wanted to see her family. So we went in for the weekend. After we got back, she wanted to move back home. She started acting funny. So, I finally agreed to her, things been going rough, between mine and her relationship there those few months. Shit. But things have been going rough and all that good stuff. And we moved back. After being there with, her family quite some time, Marianne started changing. Her papa, just hated me. And it was making things rough between us and, our daughter. Her papa just wanted me gone. Which, I didn't want to. Oh God, I didn't want to. I already had this, when we got back there, I ended up getting rid of everything. So I started a telecommunications company. Well, at that time, I got everything going up for it. I've always been good about starting business. I guess it's just like a gift that I got, I guess I get it from my dad. But, give me just a minute, guys. I gotta go in here and finish telling the story here in just a second. I had all this stuff up and going. I've been doing pretty damn good, business and everything. And it's just, things start spiraling out.
Yeah, that's what, $3 a ticket? That's what $3 a ticket. That's $3, right? Yeah. Yeah. It'd be $9.
But, as soon as I walk out here, I'll finish telling, explaining the story and stuff. But, kind of rough at the moment. Old lady's going to do my hair, fix my hair and my beard and stuff.
He only gets a pack of cigarettes. You're good. I'm not trying to.
Go ahead. I have no idea what it was.
He's not. He'll beat me up. We only got shorts in here. I can double check. He'll beat me up, sir. Wait, I lied.
Is them 100? That's what I was about to say.
Don't hold me hostage. I'm sorry.
I don't know. That's 30 to life sentence there.
He's my neighbor. He'll beat me up if I don't ring him up quick enough. I'm just kidding. Did you need gas or anything?
No.
Cigarettes. Virginia Slims can wait. He's second. That's his big name. He hates it. I'll come up with a nickname for you one day. I just don't got nothing creative. There's not much to work with.
Have a good one. I want to grab a couple of these if you don't care. So I'm putting my coffee because
I don't care.
there's good stuff on my coffee. Thank you. Have a good one. But as I was saying, so everything started spiraling out. Me and her fighting. You know, it's just been one show after the next. After the next, after the next, after the next, after the next, you know. One after another. Her papa wanted me out. You know, don't get me wrong. I wasn't always the nicest person back then. Stayed in a lot of shit. You know, excuse my French. Gotten a lot of trouble over the years. You know, I've always, you know, all the way up until I was 17, I always kept good grades through high school. Was about to go from out of high school into the Marine Corps. But, you know, the woman I'm married to now, I should have stayed with her when we was together back then before I met Marianne, because I broke up with her because I was falling in love with the girl that I'm in with now, and I got scared. I didn't know what it was, you know, so I got scared. I ended up getting with her through a friend of mine who was friends, had friends. We was all friends of them. So we ended up meeting, getting together after I broke up with her, which was the stupidest thing that I ever did in my life, because I'd have went through the Marines, made a career out of it, came home, still been with her, had kids, and you know, I'd had a good life to this day. But it's the things that shapes us and molds us into what we are today. Because 90% of us never does the stuff that we were going to do. We always end up doing something polar opposite of what we plan to do. That's just how life is. But back to the story. I end up doing some stupid stuff, which I regret, and I asked for forgiveness of, but her papa wanted me out of the house, and you know, I didn't want to cause all this fighting and stuff, but I had a job, a big, humongous telco job lined up, because I had ended up being subcontracted with ADT Fire and Security in their commercial side of putting in surveillance cameras and alarms and stuff like that. But her papa wanted me out, so I had you know, agreed. You know, her papa didn't want, you know, her even knowing none of this stuff, and I never did tell her, because I mean, she wouldn't believe me. And her papa even, you know, said, you tell her and you asked about it, I'm just going to deny it. So what was the whole purpose and point even telling her when he would deny it and she wouldn't believe it? So, because her and her grandfather was really close. But so I ended up leaving. You know, as I talk about these stories, you know, it brings up a lot of memories and pains and stuff like that. Because after I did leave, you know, as I was leaving, you know, it was like my heart sunk. Like, it was just unexplainable. I can't explain it, how the feeling as I was leaving, getting our stuff ready, and as we was traveling off that mountain, it was just like my whole world just collapsed out from under my feet. I couldn't breathe, and you know, it was just, it's feeling like you would never want to feel, you know what I mean? And so after being up there for a few months, had all this work, doing all this stuff, and I wanted to come back home. It was not for the sake of, you know, of early marriage or nothing. It was just because I wanted to be with my daughter. You know, that's my child. She kept saying she's going to talk to her mom and them. She's going to talk to her mama and them. And every time I asked about it, you know, no, I ain't talked to her. So I kept getting this, you know, I got this feeling that she didn't want me back. You know, she didn't want to do it. So I started moving on. You know, I thought about my daughter all the time. You know, because that's my baby girl. That's the first kid I ever had. So as time progressed, I ended up meeting somebody else. I was married. I didn't think nothing about it. So I ended up committing adultery. But backlog of the story, years ago, while I was in jail, because me and a buddy of mine got into some trouble, when I called, Marianne had cheated on me with a close friend of mine named 𝕿𝖆𝖌𝖊𝖑. Still to this day, she denies it, but I know the truth. So I had several friends who witnessed it. She even brought the dude, Doug, over to one of my friend's house one day. So, still to this day, she still denies it. But, you know, one good thing about a woman, guys, is they don't want you to know something. They'll deny it to the full extent. You'll never know. You may assume and speculate and everything else. And you got validation from friends. When a girl don't want you to know, you'll never know the truth unless she lets you know. But back onto the story. As this thing's occurring, I end up falling for another girl who we'll call, I'll give him a good name. We'll just call her Kelsey. That ain't her name, but that's just what we call her. So I end up falling for her. Things going. I started doing crazy stuff because this girl just had me absolutely crazy about her. I ended up getting in trouble, doing dumb stuff, end up getting into it with some people, beating the dude up because my hands are, you know, registered. Because I spent all these years in martial arts and stuff. And I went on the run. I went back to Tennessee. First I was in Alabama, and I was on the run. Went to Alabama with a buddy of mine right there out of Shaco Springs, which is right there next to Talladega Motor Speedway. Stayed there for a couple months. Went to a buddy of mine's house in Rockwood, Tennessee, Brent Smith. real good friend of mine. Grew up together. We used to do everything together. Staying with him and his mom and his brother. So the girl, another girl that I was dating, she was with me too. She got mad at me because at the time I had thought me and Marianne was going to get back together, but it was just a hoax. So the girl got mad at me, called her mom, them, they called in on me. Next thing I know, the police show up, and I go to Roane County Jail. Spent there about a week, got extradited back to South Carolina. I spent a little bit of over a year in the county because none of the plea bargains, they offered me 2 10s, running consecutive, offered me 2 10s and 2 5, running concurrent. I went to take none of them, so I stayed in jail. Well, I was supposed to went home. The judges switched that morning. When I went in there, they gave me 10 years and 4 or 5 year probation sentences. So throughout South Carolina, in June of 2011, day on my birthday, got divorce paperwork. I had no choice to sign it because I couldn't fight it. I was incarcerated. I had no help. And I did my duration in prison. Well, during that prison sentence, basically the first 7 years, I just wild out. I was getting into trouble. Go to level 1 yard, get slammed up for contraband, phones or tobacco or something, and boom, I get hit. So when I got hit, sent me back to level 2. Finally in 2018, I had got shipped to Tiger River. Through Tiger River, I got back into my old habits of gang banging because I'm part of the 7-4s, which is gangster style G's. Just doing ratchet, just acting a fool, cutting up, doing everything, having phones, contraband, selling drugs, selling cigarettes, selling phones, getting traffic up with phones. This back and forth. Well, during my duration at being incarcerated, I had got my PhD in clinical psychology. I had got a master's in religious education. I've got an associate's degree in biblical studies and a bunch of other different degrees. While at Tiger River in 2018, I joined the Jump Start program, which is supposed to give you housing and stuff like that after your release. I don't know how many times I went up to parole. It took them 6 times before they eventually granted me parole. Like, I had family there that didn't work. Finally I just told them straight up front, I didn't have but like 6 months left, but I was just tired, just tired of the environment, tired of being there. And when I went parole, they finally granted it to me under conditions to me complete the ATU program, which is the abuse treatment unit. It's a 6-month to a year program that you have to complete under conditions of parole, which taught me a lot, not only about myself, but my habits and everything. So I went through the program, and I completed the program. Anybody that's in SCDC, I would recommend going through that program if you're scared and get home, afraid you're going to fall back into your old ways and doing stuff like drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. It'll teach you a lot, like a whole lot. But so, I mean, there's a lot more to the story. I just want to give you a little portion of the background where I came from, how things went, and where I'm going. So during my incarceration, day that I got out, I reached out to my ex-wife and my daughter. I've been doing good since I've been out, but COVID forced me to shut my private practice, and I went into gaming and live streaming full time, and not regretted it. I reached out to the girl that I'm with today. We go back from when we were kids, and she has been, the best thing that's happened in my life. And I have a son now, and I've got another daughter on the way. My son's name's Aiden. He'll be 4 November the 29th. And he's been a tremendous blessing in my life. He's taught me a lot. Which I'm going to do another episode to introduce you all to her. They don't have one introduction to my wife. I'm slowly learning how to make thumbnails. I've got a son now, and I've got a daughter on the way, which is the girl that we go all the way back to when we was kids. 17 years old to be exact. I was 17, she was 6. I was 17, I'm fixing to turn 18. She was 16, just turned 16. Which we have a son and a daughter on the way, which God's given me a second chance, where I messed up with my first daughter, who we talk to this day. We talk all the time, and I'm trying to do things right by her. But we've been together. She's been, Missy's been a angel in disguise with me. I love her with everything in my heart and soul. Would do absolutely anything for her. She supports me with this streaming and stuff. So I know sometimes I'll be on here and just too much instead of spending time with her. And I owe it to her to give more time. So that's one reason why I'm going to start doing a schedule. The thumbnail, I will be introducing y'all to her, because this is going to be start doing a series on now. It's going to be every Friday, so y'all guys be sure to stay tuned in for that. But we'll be doing a series on this. So, but she's been the best thing that's happened to me and my kids. She supports me in all this. Well, after I got out, I reached out to her, and this is the exact words I said: if you give me another chance, because I messed up all those years ago, because I fell in love and got scared. If you give me a chance, I'll prove every day how much I love and care about you. And we can't, as human beings, we can't always do exactly everything we say we're going to do, no matter We tried to come close, but we all gonna fall short. But I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. You know, this has been the greatest thing, and I hope this story, impacts somebody. And, no matter what, you can always find something to drive you. Because ever since the age of 7 years old, it's always been my dream and goal to be a full-time gamer. I love it. I have a passion for it. I have a fire for it. I enjoy it and wouldn't trade for nothing in the world. This past year, I had built an entire brand new gaming. This is just a streaming PC. This is not even half the stuff that I got. Because we'll be moving into a new house this year and going to be building my studio, which I have a second channel. Y'all guys be sure to check out. And you can go to solo.to/fallen angels gaming and take you to my second channel, which we're going to be working on soon. But it's been a hell of a ride with this, and I'm looking for a job right now, and until all this stuff gets good and going. But no matter what, man, just know yours are always worth. And somebody is always out here who cares and loves you and only wants the best for you and will support you 100% in your dreams. Because the difference between a dream and a hope, a dream is something that you have to make happen. You have to do and push and everything else to make it happen. This is my dream. And not only without you, there wouldn't be me here. But as this series grows and progresses, I hope this inspires you to continue your hopes and dreams. Don't ever let someone tell you can't do nothing. Don't ever let someone, no matter how hard it seems, continue to push yourself. Because I know one day all this will pay off. And I will see the change, and I will see the progress that this channel has made. Because no matter what, I'm not going to stop doing this. I know it's going to take time. No matter what, I'm not going to stop doing this. I will continue to do this, and one day I can look back and say, wow, look how far I've come. Because it's all worth it. I know sometimes I've learned some tricks and trades now that you got to switch up content. Y'all don't want the same old boring stuff, so now I'm giving you something different on a true story series. Each week I'll be doing this, telling my story, telling my background, more into the story, my life experiences. I'm going to be taking y'all guys on a journey with me so we can do this together, because this helps me and brings stuff out in me, because I'm still new at all this, so I'm just learning. But I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope this inspires you, and I hope to continue seeing every single week. Just know that I love you, and I look forward to seeing you every single week. And I will see you tomorrow for a new gaming episode. We'll probably be live on Twitch. But be sure to smash that like and follow and notification button. I love yous and see yous again.